Today I will be demonstrating how part 2 of the project works. So this interface was implemented and we could add reviews or purchase items and then put the title, the description, the category, and then the price. We could also There's also an implement button that initializes the database with at least 5 tuples for each of the tables. And there's also a drop down that has these 4 options when you do a review, and this will be demonstrated right now. So these tables are already created, but let's actually delete them just so we could see that this program works. So there's the option to drop all the tables, which it does. As you can see here, there's no more tables left, but we could initialize them again. And when it's refreshed, it's initialized and with data. So these are all tables. As you can see, there's items, there's reviews, and then here's the users. And it does this in the store controller. Let's see. In initialize. So when you call initialize, the button calls this method. Oh no, it's in the register. Right here. Initialize database, and it calls a method in the database. So right here, this should be right here, initialize database. So if the tables already exist, it just drops them, and it calls this method called drop. As you can see, it drops all 3 tables if they exist. And what this does is it initializes them back, so it creates back the tables, and you can see all the foreign keys, the primary keys, and all 3 tables with all the info. And it calls these 3 methods which insert sample data. So 5 tuples in each of the places, and as you can see, the foreign keys are where they belong. Like user 1 is associated with this review in the review table, and this would be the item table. So let's run back the program. So since all tables are already initialized, let's actually log into an existing user. So user 1 and password 1, so just log in. And it says login successful. And we can search items by category, like how the program description asked. So let's actually look at item, and let's look at one of the categories. Category A. So the description does say search by category, so it's going to return all categories. But as you can see that these 2 items right here, item 1 and 3, are associated with 2 different users. Item 3 is associated with user 3, and item 1 is associated with user 1. And since we logged in with user 1, we have to click the item that's associated with user 1. So it'd be this one, and we could write a review. It was a great product. And here's a drop down menu. Let's put good, and we can submit a rating, and it does it successfully. So we can go back to review. Let's refresh it. As you can see, user 1, good. It was a great product. Everything worked out. But it won't work if I click on this item because it's not associated with this user. And the way this works is that it brings back a user ID because of the foreign key constraints that these tables have. It actually calls. So to insert a review, we have to get the user ID, and to get the user ID, there's actually a method right here that retrieves it. Get item ID by attributes. So this method has to be called, and it gets an item ID. And there's also get all items by category. The way this works is that it retrieves all the items by the category, which is right here, which you saw in this demonstration. And all these methods are just called by action events and from buttons that you click on. So right here, find, this would get all items by category, stored in a list, and display them to the screen as they appear. And it happens as you're typing. So like if I take off the A, it's just going to disappear because there's no category. It's called category. If I put category B, it returns it. A, X, there's no X. A. So yeah. You could also insert a review. So you could insert items. It gets them from the text field, which are right here. So let's put a title. And since this is user 1, it's going to save it as user 1. So let's put title, group, description. Let's put a good category. So there was a bug in the previous code where I couldn't click on this because the label was too big. The price label was interfering with this entire text box. But it should work now. So let's actually put the title, let's put group, description, and category, and price, put $2. And we inserted the item. And it should be in the item table, and it should be associated with user 1. So let's see if it works. Fruit, penny, category, price 2, user 1. Yep, it worked. Now let's search up category B. And it's right here. You could write a review, you could say, it was amazing. And then let's actually put excellent. So let's go to reviews, let's refresh it. Look, it's right here. It worked. So we could go back. Actually, no, we can't go back. There's not a go back button. If you want to go back to the menu, you have to terminate and click run menu. And just do the same steps all over again. So you could still register people for password. Register user. And just refresh it. It's right here. So everything still works the way it's supposed to. Login success and brings you back to the menus. You can see all these things, but you can't review other people's items. You could only review items that are associated with you. So like each user has to know which items that they're associated with, which items they bought. Like pretty much covers everything that needs to be covered. Could insert more stuff. Let's put $5. Insert. It's right here, $5 associated with user A. Yep, everything works.